I think we've played more as a team, and we've just dominated on offensive defensive line. I mean, that's something that we've increased so much more than last year. I mean, now we got guys coming back for second to 3 years, so we have a lot of experience in there, and that's something that's kind of helped us put up those 50-point games, is just having the offensive line dominate, and then defensive line absolutely dominating too, and having 7, maybe 14 points a game for the defense. So that's good.
What is the coaching staff stressing for you guys on offense that you guys need to do well this week to continue the kind of 53-point-a-game success that we've seen so far this year?
It's definitely make no mistakes and do everything to the best of your ability. Because, I mean, we know what to do. It's just a fact of perfecting it and making sure we do everything 100% perfectly. Because that one small mistake could leave a wide open hole and could, make a big mistake and help us lose the game.
Last year, Leo got you in the regular season 24-0. Then you really turned the table, beat him 10-0 in the postseason. What was the key to flipping the script there, and what do you learn in those two games that you can apply this time around?
I think the big thing is turnovers. We had a couple of turnovers in the first game, and then we limited that to none the last game. So the key for Friday is definitely limiting turnovers and forcing turnovers, and that's kind of the huge pushover to whether we win or lose.
For you guys, I mean, this is a game, I know every game is important, every week is important, but this has got to be a game that you guys have circled on the schedule. So approaching a game that could have big implications, is a rivalry game, is going to have the spotlight on it this week. How do you approach a game like this, and what are you most looking forward to about this Friday?
I mean, it's a huge game, and like everyone knows it's a huge game. So we kind of circle that and we prepare. I mean, we've practiced hard every week, but I think like this week especially, we've kind of focused more, cracked down more on the little things, and just try to limit all those mistakes to help us prepare us for Friday.
Good deal. Anything else you'd like to add?
I think I'm good. Thank you.
Good.
We just remember all our rules, blocking wise, and we just play hard and run around and catch the balls, and
What has the coaching staff been stressing this week? What are you really putting an impetus on to get ready for Leo, and what are some of the things that concerns you guys as you get ready for Leo?
Definitely turnovers. Got to minimize turnovers, and we just got to outplay the other team, just play harder and tougher and aggressive. Yeah.
Knowing this will be obviously the toughest challenge that you faced to this point in the season, what do you expect the game to be like? What are you most looking forward to about this Friday? It's obviously a huge matchup for you guys, rivalry-wise, for NE8 standings-wise. I mean, just all across the board. What are you looking forward to?
Harder hitting people, just clashing the whole game. There'll be no one that's like really soft out there. Just spreading the field and just winning.
Them beating you guys in the regular season last year, and then you coming back and winning in the playoffs 10-0. What do you learn from those two games? What are your biggest takeaways that you can use this Friday?
Once again, definitely turnovers, and then not really what we're doing, but how we're doing it. We just have to do it really aggressively and come out and hit them really hard. So.
If there's one X factor or something that people aren't thinking about that maybe could impact this outcome on Friday, what do you think that might be?
I'm going to be honest, I don't know.
Just execution maybe or something like that?
Yeah. X factor. Well, the one X factor is definitely turnovers, but people are always probably expecting that. So.
True. Anything else you'd like to add about this game?
No, sir.
All right, my man. Appreciate it.
Yep.
I think every year we look at this game as, a potential conference championship matchup. You obviously got to do your job the rest of the time as well, but more so, our goals are beyond just going to winning a conference championship. So this is a great measuring stick for two of the best teams around. We're in the same sectional, and we're likely to see. We've seen each other twice each of the last 2 or 3 years, so that's bound to happen again. And we're gonna, obviously try to win the game and try to win the conference championship. But we also know that there's a big picture, and just playing our best football in a big game is what's really important.
24-0, they get you in Week 5 last season, and then 10-0, you guys win the sectional championship. What did you guys do differently? What did you guys figure out maybe that you can apply this time around from the games that you faced against them last year?
Well, there's so many circumstances that go into a game. We had some guys out in the first game, but really just getting more physical as the year went on. We felt we had a pretty young team last year, and we had some. We were sliding guys around to different spots and trying to figure out our identity. And by the end of the year, we had kind of figured that out. And so we knew that offensively we went into that game with a much better plan. We're able to control the ball a little bit better, not turn the ball over, which is the biggest key. And then defensively, that's a tough offense to defend. It's really tough to defend, and you've got to play physical. You've got to be mentally ready for them to keep coming at you, and you've got to tackle. And so, I think that going into this matchup, we've seen that offense so many times. We know what it takes to do well against it, but that's an offense full of just some of the best talent in the history of this conference. And we have some of that as well. But this is when people walk out on this field to see this game, it's going to be one of the best games that our conference has ever seen from a talent perspective.
When you look at this coming Friday, do you feel like a sense of even a sense of heightened excitement, a sense of heightened importance in the practice, in the players this week? I mean, do you feel that? Is that kind of tangible out there for you guys?
Yes, because the weird thing is, as big a rivals as we've become, our kids know each other and they're friends, and but I think they respect each other. They respect the way each other play football. Both teams play hard-nosed football. Both teams, pride themselves in being well-coached, tackling, protecting the ball, great offense, move the ball, and between the two of us, I think we have all but one conference championship in the history of our conference. So, it's a game where there's a lot of familiar faces. There's a lot of kids that are friendly off the lines, but when they get in between the lines, there's definitely a heightened sense.
Final question for me. I mean, turnovers played a big factor in the two games that you played last season. If there's one X factor or one thing that could swing the game, in your opinion, what do you think it is for this coming Friday?
I think both teams have a few replacement spots from last year that we're going to find out, which team has been able to do that the best. I think both teams lost some linebackers. Both tems are playing a couple different guys at some key spots, like they have a new kid at running back. We have a new player at quarterback. Some of those differences in who's the new guy, who's the new faces, who's ready to play, who's ready for the spotlight. Those guys might be the difference makers.